Anyway, folks, you may remember that one of the last reviews I did before leaving the US was on this unknown guitar to me by Antonio Giuliani. And I made jokes about Rudy, I know. And this is the Antonio Giuliani CL5. And it was a late entry into the guitars that came with me to the UK. It was a last minute thing. I was going to sell it. I just liked the way it played, so I just threw it in, basically, with the rest of the horde. And it's just been the guitar that I pick up pretty recently, in the last week or so. And I looked in on UK, eBay, and other sites and cannot find these over here. So I think I was justified in my decision to bring it. It's a really nicely voiced guitar, solid cedar top with mahogany in the back and sides. And the Atlantic crossing has not done it any harm at all. It's weathered really, really well. It hasn't swelled up with the additional humidity here in the UK, as opposed to Colorado in the US where I was. So the action may have gone up a bit. That would be very typical and very normal. I keep them in the cases, folks, and that's why these guitars do really well going from place to place. I've just learned to keep guitars in cases for that reason. But I continue to be impressed with this. So, you know, for a while I was getting quite a few of the Cremona guitars with a K, and like those. And I still have my Cremona Flamenco F65, I think it is. And I've had a number of Cordobas that I think are really good. And this Antonio Giuliani seems to be right in that group in terms of quality. I've had some admirers that I liked as well, that admired. Other than that, I'm on the lookout here in the UK for potential classical guitar brands that give me this sort of feeling. Again, this is all very organic with me. I really put a lot of stock in how a guitar feels, how it responds to my playing, how I feel when I'm playing it. It's very guttural. Of course I pay attention to specs and woods and all that, but a lot of times it comes down to whether it speaks to you, and that is subjective, isn't it? This guitar, I can sit and noodle on it for a long time. It's got a really nice voice. It's well balanced. It's not nasally like a lot of classical guitars, particularly on the cheaper end of the spectrum, tend to be. It has a nice solid bass feel to the low E, and it's not too tinny. It doesn't feel overbuilt, if you know what I mean. I've had a lot of guitars that are too woody. The woods are too thick. They're not graduated well enough, and they have that sort of dead tinny sound to them. Funky sound. This has got a very nice sound. I think this is a $300 or $400 guitar. It's probably the same in pounds, if I'm honest, over here. But it has really weathered well, and I enjoy playing it, so I thought it was worth another look. I think I only ever did one video of this back in the day, so I normally do one after setup, and I've done some tweaking on this, and I think it's got Savarez strings on it, and it just sounds great. It's a really, really nice guitar. I'm glad I brought it now. I didn't bring that many classical guitars, just my Martin Taylor, this, and one of the Cremonas that I kept. And I think I have a vintage Washburn, which is not really it's more a parley guitar with nylon strings. But that's it as far as classical guitars go. So, and I really like to play classical guitars. It's the guitar they often pull out as well as my acoustics. I probably play classicals and acoustics more than electrics, even though I love the electrics as well. So this is just, you get instant gratification when you play these. You don't have to mess with settings or an amp or anything. The sound is right there at your fingertips. Which is why I tend to grab them. Got a nice Spanish heel on this, as you can see there, fully bound. I believe this was a Blem, which is why I got it cheaper. I think it's got a couple of black marks in the grain somewhere. I don't really see much wrong with it. And I do believe this is an ebony board, even though it's a little brown. I think it's definitely an ebony fretboard. Yeah, so pleased I brought this with me. Those of you who are in the UK, what's available that you think is in this quality range? Like let's say 300 to 500, 700 solid top guitars, classical guitars that is. What do you feel is in this range? I know the Admirers are quite available over here. Of course, Takamines, the higher end Takamines as well. I've seen La Patries, which aren't really traditional classicals, but they are nylon strung guitars. And of course, Cordoba is available over here, but not nearly as ubiquitous as they are in the States. They're everywhere in the States. I occasionally see a C5 or a C7 here, but not quite as plentiful as in the States. And Cremonas I very rarely see at all. I've seen them offered on sell sites, but I haven't really run into that many of them, which is a shame. There are a lot of companies that I was regularly featuring in the US that still haven't quite made it to the UK market. Hopefully that will adjust and I'll have something to say about it. But as of right now, I believe this is a US only order. If you know of where to get these in the UK, please correct me, but I haven't come across them. But anyway, this is the Antonio Giuliani CL5. I think that's an L. Yeah, CL5. Solid cedar top classical guitar. All right, folks. Hopefully have some more videos coming, get a bit more regularity back as well. Some topical videos as well as more instrument videos. So see you on the next one.